We are living in the age of information. Information mainly is driven by communication. Communication could have a high cost, a positive cost, but also negative costs. Companies have gone out of business because they communicated badly. The question that we are then asking our clients needs to be, if they think they are good, or if you think they are good speakers and they are good interviewees, is, have you always received coverage? And has that coverage been on message? Have they been able to deliver the message? Communication has an impact. People have an impact. And that's what we're trying to train people on, to make a positive impact, to create value, to be perceived as good speakers, but also to be trusted by the audience. May that audience be internal or external. TFT Coach, which we have developed based on AI, and I will talk about it in a bit more detail, has been developed to target those audiences and make sure that we are helping people to perform better than in the past. We basically have two kinds of clients. First client says, I have a speaker that needs to be trained. The other client says, I need somebody who needs to be trained, but they don't think they need to be trained. The question that we are then asking our clients needs to be, if they think they are good, or if you think they are good speakers and they are good interviewees, is, have you always received coverage? And has that coverage been on message? Have they been able to deliver the message? If they have never received coverage, or very little, or they've received coverage but it was not the intended one, we are coming into play. We are selling TFT Coach. We will be able to train these people to be better. So again, wrong communication can have high costs, and again, they can have positive and negative costs. You know many examples, I'm sure, of people speaking publicly, either in front of a camera, to a TV audience, or in real life, at conferences, which have caused problems, which made companies lose money. There are good examples, or actually bad examples, like let's say many years ago, Volkswagen with the Dieselgate in America. The CEO gave an interview, gave out the wrong messages, also showed signals of weakness in the interview. He lost his position, the company lost money, the company lost value, the company lost trust until today. It had a big impact. So building trust is really important, which is why we call our product behind this training, the coaching program, TFT, Training for Trust. I give you another example. CEO has an interview with a very well-known, very important Tier 1 publication. The interview starts, the journalist asks the first question. The CEO speaks for 36 minutes. That's a real-life example. The CEO spoke for 36 minutes and gave a sales pitch, a sales presentation actually. He opened a PowerPoint and took the journalist through the presentation. These are just two really bad examples of how somebody can destroy the relationship between the CEO and the journalist, the CEO and the audience, but actually also the relationship between us, the agency, and the journalist, because they think we really badly prepared that person. Now I give you one example of a CEO who totally crashed the interview by disrupting the trust, the empathy level with the journalist. That was many years ago. Journalists from a big daily newspaper, highly respected, Tier 1, was interviewing a CEO of one of my clients. And at some stage in the interview, the journalist was referring to something that had happened this morning. He said, well, one of the very big players in your industry this morning announced to move into your market and be a competitor of yours. And at that stage, the journalist said to the CEO, if I was you, I would be worried. To which the CEO replied, and that's why you're a journalist and I'm a CEO. That was a heck of a response, but it really crashed the atmosphere. It crashed the empathy between the journalist and the CEO. So what we're trying to do is to build that kind of trust level with a journalist. What we're genuinely trying to educate CEOs on is to be human in the interviews. Being human creates a level between my audience, in this case the journalist, and the CEO. And we have seen many examples where CEOs have been very rational, very blue in their language, as we may call it, and are kind of making people not people anymore, but numbers in an Excel sheet, for example, and all of a sudden they come across as very cold and nobody wants to work for them or nobody trusts them. And we have seen many of those examples. We're trying to make sure that CEOs understand how communication really works. Our experience is that many CEOs are relatively good speakers, but they're not that well listening. They're not leading conversations. We are trying to train them to lead a meaningful and productive conversation with their audience, and in many cases with the interviewer, with the journalist. TFT Coach is helping there because TFT Coach is analyzing how good you are in addressing the audience in the room or the journalist or the people behind that journalist who are actually watching the program or who are reading the article. In short, TFT Coach is analyzing your human communications and is looking into how effective you are in reaching your audience. In a nutshell, TFT Coach is an AI-powered tool which helps us to analyze the strengths and the weaknesses of the speaker. And again, this may be speaking in public, for internal audiences, for external audiences, in front of a camera, sitting at a table, any kind of communication scenario. TFT Coach takes a look at the visual communications. This is based on our own experience, on what we deem to be really important, but it's also based on scientific research, on science that has found what is important to build trust with an audience. That information has gone into our AI tool. And when we're training people, they are being recorded and we're getting a report which shows exactly where they have been really good and where they have not been as good. C-level people, actually most people, trust data. And that was the idea behind the whole tool. They are getting a report which is not based on my personal subjective perception, but on data. My own experience is that CEOs in particular love this tool so much that they dig deep into the report. When I very recently had a media training and took the CEO through the report, I wanted to move on to the next point, but they said, no, can we go back please? Because I'd like to know about this, know more about that. What we have also realized is that when they have gone through the first round of training, they say, can we please do this again? Because I want to be better than last time. And after the second one, they say, can we do this again? Because I want to be even better than last time. And I had a few candidates who asked me, what was the best score that you ever had? Can we please do this again, just to make sure I'm trying to be the best? They are very competitive. That's why they are leaders. That's why they are C-level people. So this training has enormously helped us to be trusted as a trainer, as much as it helps them to be trusted as speakers. TFT Coach looks at that, but it also analyzes the messaging, what has been delivered, what has been provided to the audience. Because you can, this being part of Sidekick, upload messaging documents, upload company information, upload presentations to make sure that the system understands the context and is looking for the ability to deliver those messages. So it's much more than just a feedback tool on your communication techniques, but it analyzes if you are able to deliver the message and if you are able to deliver the right kind of message. It analyzes the audiences. Which audience has been addressed well by how you said things? Because there's always a potential positive outcome depending on what your audience is. It may be a more B2C audience, it may be a more B2B audience. The style of the delivery, but also the messages totally depend on the audience that you have, and TFT Coach is taking this into account. Why are we also offering this tool? It saves a lot of money. It saves a lot of time. Companies are getting very targeted, very detailed, very concrete feedback and information on the delivery, on the performance of the speaker. You immediately see what was really going well, what did not go so well, what you need to focus on. So whereas in the past we went through second and third rounds of interviews or presentations and they were trying to do everything better than the last time, we can now say this is the area that you need to focus on and can just try to see how much of an impact that has on the overall trust score and then look into the details. So our experience with the first clients who've tried it is very positive because the training is much more lively, database, trustworthy than what we've ever had before. It's playful, they really enjoy this, and they can take the report back home, look into it, drill down deeper, and still ask us for more advice. TFT Coach is not completely sitting on its own. It needs consultancy around it. It needs experienced people who are adding value to the report. So in short, Coach is a tool that helps everyone being a better speaker, building trust with audiences, building value for a business, and it helps us to be a trusted partner of our clients. It helps us to be very focused in our advice. And therefore, it also helps us to add more value to the client. A last word on who are we addressing here? Who are we helping? It's basically everyone in every imaginable business. As I said earlier, it's C-level people, but it's also salespeople. It couldn't be HR people. It can be product managers. We can help everyone to perform better, create more value based on building more trust with their audience.